Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. As night falls in Los Angeles, Ridge tells Brooke that Carter betraying him was like a cutter in my heart. He talks about how Carter is an upstanding man of integrity. Sure, there was that whole Quinn affair, pun intended, but Ridge assumed that was just a slip-up. Perhaps not. Perhaps that's who he is, the developer reflects, sad that his confidant threw everything down. Also Hope can get her vengeance on Steffi and the rest of the Forresters. He's risking everything, all for the love of your son. Ridge explains to Brooke exactly what went down between him and Carter. Indeed, with everything he did to me, that he did to us, I still loved him, admits Ridge, saying he gave him a way out. But rather, he decided to stand by Hope. That shows where his fidelity lies, he muses. It's not with this company. It's not to me. It's with your son. Carter arrives at the cabin, telling Hope that he can't stop seeing the look of shock and disappointment in Ridge's eyes. Hope apologizes for her mama having run straight to Ridge, but Carter wouldn't hear it. That was the threat they were taking. But he knows his relationship with Ridge will no way be the same. Carter says it was one thing to have the paperwork drawn up, but another to deal with Ridge's response. He insists he's not frenetic at Brooke. She loves you, just like I do, he says, adding Brooke was just carrying as a concerned mama. The worst part of all for Carter? Dealing with Ridge's disappointment. Carter reveals to his lady love that Ridge gave him a way out. He'd forget everything that had happened on the condition that he end effects with Hope. Ridge wants you back, reflects Hope, saying that shows just how important he's to Ridge and the company. Speaking of the adventure, Carter acknowledges that he allowed. He was doing the right thing. She, in turn, promises not to hold it against him if he goes back. But Carter says he turned it down. I don't want to be in a world without you in it, Hope. This is our morning, not our end. I told you, I'll no way give up on you. Taylor emerges from the children's bedroom to tell Steffi that the kiddies conked out after one story. Actually, for runners into it. They phenomenon at the energy children have, adding that on the else side, they, as grown-ups, get to drink coffee, speaking of which, your intrepid recapper could use a mug. Steffi's thankful for her mama helping out, given that Finn is working a late shift at the sanitarium. Steffi elicits a pledge from Taylor that she's not going anywhere. Steffi says the kiddies adore Taylor, and Taylor says she adores the kiddies. Ahead long, Steffi's doing her usual not-so-subtle matchmaking by talking up Ridge. Taylor calls her son out on it hypercritically. Steffi insists that's not what she's doing, but also adds that when Ridge and Taylor are together, everybody sees the spark between them, including Brooke. Steffi knows they're together, but asks the million-bone question: why haven't Brooke and Ridge married? I know you don't need a man in your life, says Steffi, but if you did, would it be Pater? Look, says Taylor, she's happy, Ridge is happy, according to Brooke, anyway. The mama and son agree that Ridge will no way have with Brooke what he'd with Taylor. One thing Brooke and Taylor have in common? We both love our children and grandchildren deeply, says Tay-Tay. Family is as important to Brooke as it's to me. Steffi points out that it didn't stop Brooke from turning their lives upside down. Eventually, still, Taylor cherishes the recollections she and Ridge participated, but everyone has moved on. She's going to mess over, predicts Steffi. She always does. How numerous times, Steffi asks, has Brooke tried to make a relationship work with Pater? Let's just assume that's a rhetorical question as opposed to trying to do the calculation on that bone. Taylor takes the high road, saying perhaps this time will be the charm. That's really cute, smiles Steffi mockingly, that you're trying to bed for Brooke and Pater. Taylor admits that lodging might be too strong a word, but says her life is full and she's not standing around staying for the relationship to fall piecemeal. That said, it's presumably only a matter of time. In the final moments, Brooke tries denying that Hope was behind Carter's conduct. Ridge, still, points out that Steffi had been suggesting that was passing for weeks. Obviously, he says, they kept it secret so that they could take over the company. Your son played this impeccably, Ridge declares. Hope turned Carter into a person I do ain't fate. At the same time, Hope is trying to change Carter's mind, only to be shocked when he reveals that like her, he's been fired. You've been wronged, and I wasn't about to back down, Carter says. I love you. I'm deeply in love with you. So I can lose my job. I can lose my friend. Is it easy? No, Hope, it hurts like hell, it does. But our love is more important than anything. I'll no way give up on you. And I don't know what the future holds. Are we going to take over Forrester? Are we going to be rejects? I don't know. But we're going to do it together. As the music swells and we fade to black, the two of them partake a passionate kiss. Remy Price is obviously bad news, so he's not really someone you want working at your eatery. Deacon Sharp doesn't know that yet, but he'll surely figure it out down the road. In the meantime, Remy is working at Il Giardino on a trial base in exchange for room and board. Still, Cleric is willing to give him an endless position and factual requitals to go on with it, if Remy proves himself. There could be a problem if Sheila Sharp figures out Remy's crooked nature and unrighteous plans. Sheila is relatively defensive of Deacon's eatery, so she may keep an eye on Remy and any schemes he might carry out. Since Sheila wouldn't want to see another reproach unleashed involving Il Giardino, she could intermediate if Remy goes too far. The last thing Cleric needs is his eatery blowing up captions because his server went off the rails, especially since Deacon didn't do a proper background check. Besides, Sheila is trying to act like she's reformed and on a positive path now. Indeed, Sheila has her limits, so she may not stand by and watch Remy terrify Elector Forrester with all his stalking. Of course, Remy is awfully fixated on Electra and wouldn't plan on letting anyone stand in the way of the woman he wants. Still, he could try to get relief of her, if Sheila poses a trouble to Remy's plot to win over Electra. It'd be easy for Remy to overhear Sheila's heart attack history and maybe medicine her with commodity to beget another bone. On the other hand, perhaps Remy could get a lucky break if Sheila simply suffers a cardiac occasion and vessels over during a battle. We can clearly imagine Remy just walking down rather of summoning Cleric or calling an ambulance for Sheila. Another medical extremity could put Sheila's life on the line and haul at John Finnegan's heartstrings formerly again. Sheila will no way truly give up on having a relationship with Finn. Sheila and Remy's forthcoming relations could lead to trouble, so we'll pass along further prognostications on all the chaos and updates on any marvels to come. Carter and Hope are back at the cabin. He's giving her the post-mortem examination on his pressure-filled discussion with Ridge. Hope hates that her mama went to Ridge before Carter could talk to him. Carter is certain Brooke's intent was good indeed if her impact extorted annihilation. He knows Brooke loves her son much like he does, really? Carter knows she was just being a concerned parent. Hope is worried Carter had to face Ridge's upset each alone. Carter notes Ridge's emotion was grounded on pain and disappointment, which is indeed more disemboweling. Hope asks for details of Carter's discussion with Ridge. Carter fills her in on how Ridge offered to let it all go and move forward if he no way sees Hope again.